Hello there. We're going to start learning how to sign by learning the alphabet. The alphabet is the basis for a lot of signs, which is why it's so important. A lot of signs are simply one letter of the alphabet that's doing some sort of action that pertains to whatever it is that you're trying to sign. So for instance, the word kite is just the letter K, and it's flying through the air like a kite would, so kite. So it's very important to know all of your letters because without them there are a lot of signs that you will not be able to do. Before we jump into the alphabet, I want to go over just a little bit of signing etiquette with you, very, very basic. When you're doing signs that only require one hand, which the alphabet only requires one hand, and when you get on into numbers, a lot of the numbers only require one hand, you want to make sure that you have your hand placed in at the right level and in the right place. So you don't want to have your hand too far out from your body because that's awkward, and you also don't want to have it way in front of you. And you don't want to have it way out close to the person that you're signing because then you start to maybe only see the top of their hand or something. So your hand's just going to be, a normal elbow bend right here next to your shoulder. Something to help you remember, or at least be aware if you're having good hand placement, is that if you were communicating with somebody via sign language, you want to be able to still look them in the eye, just like you would somebody that you're having a verbal conversation with. You want to be able to look them in the eye. And also there's a lot of facial expressions that go along with sign language. So if you can't see the person's face easily and watch their hand easily at the same time, then their hand's not in a good place. The same goes for you. If you have your hand too far out, it's going to be a lot harder for somebody to watch both your face and your hand. Or even look you in the eye while having a conversation and watch your hand. So you want to make sure that hand is in a nice convenient place for that to happen. Basic manners, just like your mama taught you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down every letter of the alphabet. You have an alphabet chart on this page above the videos. It's an excellent reference, a visual reference. It really helped me learn the alphabet. But I know that it's also sometimes helpful to be able to see each letter from all angles and have it broken down and explain and maybe give some helpful tips on remembering each letter. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you now as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Letter A is just a closed fist with the thumb resting off to the side. The way I remembered it when I was first learning sign language is when you write the letter A in lowercase, you have your circle, but then you have to have the stem on the side for A. So that's kind of what you're doing with your hand, A. Letter B is all four fingers straight up and down, and your thumb is tucked nice and tight across your palm. B. C is just, looks like a letter C. Crab claw, nothing major to it, held to the side. D makes a D. Well, I guess I should hold it this way and show you. Makes a D. So there's a circle with a line. D, palm forward. E, your thumb is tucked underneath the tips of your fingers. So one way that I remembered this when I was first learning the alphabet is when you write the letter E, you're making a C, but you're drawing a line underneath the top of your C that goes across. So for signing, you're making your C, but you have to have a line that comes across the top of that C. So that would be letter E. So here's E. F is three fingers nice and close, tight together with a circle. E, or F, I'm sorry. G is one finger pointed to the side. The rest of your fingers are just here making a fist. So G. F, add the second finger. Or H rather, my goodness. F, G, H. I, you're going to take your pinky finger and point it straight up, just looks like the letter I. Now for J, you're in I now. All you're going to do is scoop and make a J motion or draw a J in the air. When I was learning it in elementary school, they told me to think like you were scooping up jelly or jam with your pinky finger. So I is here. And then from there, scoop around for J. K is your pointer and your middle finger are straight up, and your thumb kind of comes and sticks up in between the two of them, and then your other two fingers are just pressed against your palm. So K. L, very self-explanatory. M looks like this. If it's hard to see on the webcam, you're going to have your pinky down to your palm, then your thumb comes across that, then your ring, middle, and pointer fold down over your thumb. And I always remembered it, and I don't know if this is weird, but I always remembered it by thinking of writing in cursive. When you write in cursive, M has 3 humps. So just like on here, we have 3 humps with our 3 fingers. M. For N, I'm going to take this ring finger and I'm going to tuck it underneath my thumb and just have 2 humps. So for N, you have pinky and ring, then your thumb comes across the top of that, and then middle and pointer. N. M. N. O just makes the letter O, just makes a circle. Really nothing special to it. P, you're going to have one finger extended straight out and pointed to the side, and the rest of the fingers just kind of make this circle so it kind of actually looks like a letter P. Q. Here's what it looks like when it's pointed straight up in the air, but it won't be when you're actually doing the sign. Your 3 fingers come down to your palm, and then your thumb and your pointer are going to extend out almost like a pincher, and then they face down towards the ground. Now, the way I was told to remember this, and honestly I couldn't remember this sign until I was given this little tip, was to think of it like you're picking up a quarter for Q, or you're pinching a quarter for Q. So here's P, and then Q. For R, you're just going to crisscross the tops of your fingers. You don't want to go too crazy with it like this. It's just awkward and weird. You just want the very tip tops of your fingers crisscrossing like this. R. S, you're going to have a closed fist, no space in the middle of your fingers, and your thumb's going to come directly across the front of your knuckles. Be careful to not let your thumb drop down too low or it's going to look like an E. Make sure that it stays nice and tight and closed with your thumb going across. Also, you want to make sure your thumb is not going inside of your fingers. It's on the outside of your fingers. For T, you're just going to take your thumb, stick it up, and then slide it between your pointer and your middle finger. T. From the side, sometimes it's more helpful because it looks like a T, I think, because it crisscrosses, but who knows. So T. U, you have pinky, ring, and middle finger tucked in. No, I'm sorry, pinky and middle finger tucked into your palm, and your thumb comes across them, and then your 2 fingers stick up straight, and they are stuck together. U. For V, you're going to separate the 2 fingers and make a V. For W, you'll add your ring finger and make a W. X is strange. I have not yet found a good way to remember it. I have no tips to give you and no insight to give you as to why this is the sign for X, but you're going to take your thumb into your palm, and then you're going to curl pinky, ring, and middle around it, and then your pointer is going to make kind of a hook, and that's X. Y, thumb and pinky stick out like the arms of a Y, and then your arm acts kind of like a stem, so it looks like the letter Y. And then Z, you just take your pointer and you draw a Z in the air. So it's actually very simple once you get the hang of it, but it's getting the hang of it that may take some time. So I'm going to go through the alphabet very slowly right now. Feel free to sign along with me. Feel free to come back to this video and fast forward to this part so you can practice doing each letter. I'll go very slowly, and then as you start to get better, maybe do it once with the video to give yourself a refresher and warm your fingers up, and then try it without the video, or look for another video online that goes faster or something until you can do it all by yourself. So here we go. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So I hope you found this video helpful. Like I said, work on this until you have the alphabet down pretty fluid. Your next step is to go to my next video, which is Fingerspelling 101. That's going to be excellent practice to make sure that you can recognize the letters out of order. Sometimes it's easy to remember the pattern, but not always easy when you pull pieces of the pattern out and then I ask you, okay, so what's this random letter from your sign language alphabet? So do the fingerspelling video as an exercise to help you memorize the alphabet. I'll have Fingerspelling 101, which will be me, and I'll go very slowly. I'll do 3 to 4 letter words, and I'll also talk a little bit more at the beginning of the video about signing etiquette, particularly when it comes to things like counting or fingerspelling or the alphabet or something like that. So practice, 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 and then go to the next video. So I'll see you there.